Welcome to War Games on Toast, all of you wonderful people. I am once again back. Hello, it's me, Toast. I've been gone a long time. It has been 2 months, and I checked that a month ago, so it could be closer to 4. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, but I am not dead. I am far from dead. I am back. I am here. I am wearing my Pac-Man shirt, and the background has changed. We've moved cameras, and we have cool blurred things. Can you tell what those yellow things are there? If you know what they are, leave a comment. You look at a high five and a cookie, maybe. But why am I here, and why are you here? Well, that's because we have a cool title that implies that we are burning babies, but we are not burning babies. We are actually going to talk about the future of the channel and how Burnout and babies and Blood Bowl all tie into that. This is Toast Talk episode 3, and it's going to be a fun time. But before we get into all of that nitty gritty, I just wanted to have a quick little moment to thank each and every one of you. You have continued to support this channel despite the fact there's been a dirge of content. We are rapidly approaching 800 subscribers. 800! That's a crazy number. That is a crazy number of subscribers. I expect 10, 9 of which were going to be friends and family, and 1 of which was going to be me on an alt account to make it a round number. And that's what I expected. I didn't expect to get any higher than that, and we are at 800. It's crazy, but we're rapidly heading to 1,000. That's mad. That's 100 times more. That's crazy, and it's all thanks to you lot, you know. And you know, subscribers aside, that's just a number. No one cares about that. The amount of comments I get is staggering. It's amazing. Just the amount of people who comment and share their thoughts, their tactics, asking for tips and advice, and I am happy to answer all of them. In fact, I think I have answered 100% of comments I've ever received. And if I've missed your comment, I apologize. The actual user interface as a content creator is terrible. But I think I've answered all comments I've ever received, and talking to you a lot has been fantastic. And I haven't stopped doing that, even though I've stopped making content for a while. And oh man, it's been great. And just seeing the positive responses and people starting the hobby and just reaching out. Great, man. All I see is 700, almost 800 legends, and if you want to continue to support this channel, do nothing else. Just hit subscribe if you haven't already, leave a like, and hit a comment, you know? Hit like, leave a comment, one of those two, and that helps me fight against the dastardly YouTube algorithmic demon. That helps me get my content out there to more people, and you know, that algorithmic demon, it needs killing. It needs a good, hearty killing, because it's a bitch. It needs to die. And with your help, we can do that. With all of that out of the way, it's time to strap in, lads and ladies, and every happy chap in between and beyond. It is time for a Toast Talk. And I thought I would kick this off with some absolutely awesome news before I delve into some of the less awesome news. The reason I haven't been around for the last month, and I'm aware I've been away longer than that month, so this isn't actually an excuse, but the reason I've been away for the last month at least is because I now have a daughter. That's correct. I have my 3rd child. She's 4 weeks old. She has made me a dad of 3, and she's an absolute star. She is the light of my life currently. And she has taken up so much time that I would never, ever give away. She is unbelievable, and I wouldn't trade a single second of time with her for anything. She is a bundle of joy, and if my wife permits it, you'll be seeing pictures of her appearing here, there, and everywhere. And she might have been appearing randomly prior to me saying that. This lovely lady goes by the name of Baby Toast, and she's already being trained in the art of war. I mean, even when she was existing in her womble home, she kicked like an ostrich, and since she's been out, she has a mean right hook, and she absolutely loves hard rock, heavy metal, and Voldemort's lovely, sexy deep voice during his 40k lore videos, and she falls right asleep when you put him on. She is destined to lead every great war, every crusade, and even become an ethereal for the greater good. I cannot wait to get her into this awesome hobby, and given that she's about 4 weeks, she should be fully invested and winning tournaments in the next 2 weeks or so. But now with the baby talk out of the way, it's time to talk about the bad. This stuff has knocked me right off my game, and it's had me dreading making content. It's like a paralysis that forces you to look at your workload, and it prevents you from tackling it, you know? It's a little bit of imposter syndrome mixed with burnout. That's right, it's the dreaded burnout. Oh my god, by the Emperor, burnout. I haven't been able to pull myself together to make Warcry content because I am, and probably forever will be, suffering from some form of burnout in relation to it. And after some reflection, I think I know why. It boils down to a couple niggling issues, and first things first is that nobody plays Warcry. Yeah, man, where I live, no one plays Warcry. There are a lot of clubs near me. The north is bursting with clubs, but actually finding a regular place to play Warcry, a regular Warcry scene, nah, man, that doesn't exist. I have to travel hours, literal hours, to get a single game of Warcry sometimes, and it just takes so much time. Warcry is a quick game, and I shit you not, sometimes I've driven for twice as long just to get there as the game will inevitably last. So it's like having 4 games of Warcry worth of driving time for 1 game of Warcry, and it's not great. It is not an ideal scenario to be in, and this lack of player base to pull from means I'm really struggling to get content. And unfortunately, this has actually forced my hand in the past to make content that is just Theory Hammer. It's been me playing against myself, or me playing against my son, who is not a keen general, let me tell you. And neither am I, to be fair, but when your son's 11, it's quite difficult to get accurate tactical analyses gathered together to make a video on a getting started with tactics guide. And it's hard. It's really hard to do that. And when you are forced to put, especially when you're forced to put content out at the speed of Games Workshop, who releases a lot of Warcry stuff. I mean, it's every 3 months you're getting a big chunk of stuff you've got to build and paint and play and experience, and you've got to get that out in a timely fashion. I don't get free stuff. I don't get it early. None of that stuff. I've got to wait till it's out, and then you've got to really grind some games with whoever you can find, and sometimes that is just me. I am grinding myself, and that ain't good for content, and that has led to mistakes in the past where rules have been read wrong and content has been produced that is not up to standard and kind of sucks, you know? I want my content to be the best it can possibly be, but at the minute, it ain't happening, you know? There is content I am very proud of. There are videos that I've produced that are that took a lot of time and a lot of effort to make, and there are other ones that took a lot of effort and time to make but were still wrong because of the nature of this content churning beast. And sadly, with Warcry being as niche as it is compared to every other game, seemingly every other Games Workshop product, I don't see this issue getting better anytime soon, even with the newly released Warcry starter set, which, for the record, whilst I'm here, I 100% take credit for it being created because I said it should exist, and then lo and behold, the Games Workshop made it. So you can all thank me for the new starter set. It is my gift to you all during my hiatus. But yeah, without grinding that tournament scene for Warcry, which, for the record, is quite small. I've looked at tournaments, and the tournament scene is somewhat small and requires an awful lot of traveling to do. And again, I have a baby and a full-time job. It's hard to find the time to do that. So without, you know, doing the impossible, getting timely content out is shockingly quite impossible in and of itself. And finally, the last hurdle, this is another one, is editing. These videos can take quite a while to make, and I'm sure you can't tell. My videos are very rough and ready, and they are not very good in terms of their visual flair and their all that nonsense. But they do take time, and the time is mostly because I suck at editing. It takes a lot of time for me to do very little when it comes to this. I can talk and ramble and rabbit all day long, and that does not lead to that does not equate to a timely video. That equates to a video I need to edit more, and it is a struggle. And there are solutions to this. That is get better, simply get better. But that's finding the time to learn. And again, time, as you can imagine, is already strapped. Now, of course, the obvious solution outside of course just getting better is to hire an editor. I would love to do this at one point. The issue being, I would never, ever expect anyone to do any work for free. So this channel makes no money. Currently, it is a complete passion project. It is my passion project, though. It is not someone else's. I would not expect someone else to put the passion and time and effort in to edit my content for free. But because the channel makes no money, it's very hard to justify paying out the money to support that. Just essentially hire an employee. Like, times are tough at the minute. Things are getting tight. It's a financial crisis in England. It's not a great time to have employees. And yeah, it's one of those things where I would love to take someone on. I would love to have a partner, have someone here helping me with these, have a guest, anything like that. But it's simply not possible at the minute. And that is just something I've got to deal with. But to kind of help, let's get some of this naysaying out the way. The reason I am back and why Burnout has decided to royally fuck the fuck off from my life is because I have found other avenues of happiness that aren't tied to making Warcry content. And one of those is me dabbling in other games. And one of those games has been Blood Bowl. Do I recommend you lot play Blood Bowl? No, absolutely not. Blood Bowl is a drug. It is really addictive. It is very, very cheap to get into for the most part. It is very, very easy to get a team painted and built. It takes a long time to play. It takes 2.5 hours to play. The rules are fairly obtuse at times. And it takes a long time. You wouldn't expect to be playing for 3 hours on a game that only has 20 models at most, 22 models at most, roughly. It does. It takes a while. My longest game of Blood Bowl was 3.5 hours. And that was one of my first games. And of course, time has gone down as I got better, but my god, this game drags. It's very, very good, but it's very, very time consuming, so I can't recommend it. If you like Warcry, I do not recommend trying Blood Bowl, unless you want a game that is very random, very tactically rich though, but also very long. If you want a longer game, Blood Bowl's for you. If you want a game that's like the scale of Warcry and the speed of Warcry, nah. Avoid like the plague. Blood Bowl is not for you. But one thing that could be for you, or maybe not, one thing for me, screw that, one thing I like, 40k. Dudes, have you seen 40k? It's back. 40k is back. 9th edition fucking sucked. It was awful. Not one person on this earth can tell me that they liked 40k in 9th edition, because they'd be lying through their teeth. 9th edition was terrible. It was so bloated. It was so clunky. It was so messy. It took so long to play. It was dreadful. It was bland and bloated and bleh. Nah, 9th killed my love of 40k, and I've been playing 40k for a long ass time. I've been playing since 3rd edition. So I've been playing a long time, and I did not play 9th. After the first year of 9th, I dropped that like a brick, and I refused to ever pick it up again. That's until 10th came out, and 10th edition is a breath of fresh air. 10th edition, oh boy. Is it balanced? No. Give it a little bit, my god. It's so imbalanced, it's not even funny. The good stuff in 10th is so good, it just blows your mind. So external balance is absolutely dreadful. Internal balance is really good. Never before have I had a codex or an index where I've looked at everything and said, wow, I can see a place for 100% of the things in this book or on these cards. It's very impressive just how fun that is to have an entire army worth of models and going, 100% of this stuff is usable. Well, at least is interesting enough to be considered. And that was a fun experience. I've got a fair few Warhammer armies. I've just got the Leviathan set. These funky cards came with it. I recommend it. If you don't have Leviathan and you are looking to get into 10th edition with Space Marines or Tyranids, you can actually still buy Leviathan if you go to elementgames.com. They have a fair few in stock still, and it's a great price. It's a good set. So head over there. This isn't sponsored, obviously, but yeah, no, Element Games still have some, and great set. I would wholeheartedly recommend buying some if you like 40k, because 10th is great. It's been a good time just rediscovering that passion, that hobby that I used to have, that's faded away with the dawn of 9th. The question is, even with this universe of 10th being a thing, are videos going to appear on 10th? Maybe not. But then again, maybe. Do you see what I do? I have a compulsion. It's a compulsion to make every hobby I have into some sort of career or job. I can't help myself. By trade, I'm a video game journalist. When I was little, I liked video games, and what did I do? I turned the hobby of playing video games and experiencing flashing lights, I turned that into a job. Warcry rocks. Let's make a channel on that. 40k's back. Do we make content? Maybe no. Someone has to stop me, but unfortunately, I don't think anyone can. Someone has to, but no one can. So I am pretty sure I'll have some Imperial Fists at some point on the channel in some capacity. Maybe I'll hold one up, maybe there'll be a video on it. I don't even know. But watch this space. I am sure to disappoint myself by making 40k content at some point. But moving forward, let's get out of this negative headspace. Let's get out of this space of direness and despair. Because it's been going on for too long. It's starting to sound like the channel's dying. Rest assured, the channel's not dead. It's not dying. It was merely on hiatus, and the hiatus is possibly over. Maybe. I am hoping to get out more regular content. Will it be about Warcry though? I don't know. Probably. I suspect it will be. Will it be tactics based? Maybe. And am I going to branch out into new and exciting things? Maybe. I hope so. I really, really hope so. One thing I've wanted to do for a long time, and I think I even mentioned this in my first ever video, is I want to make battle reports. The issue with battle reports is space, and also quality. I don't know if you've noticed, but battle reports on YouTube are very, very high quality nowadays. To the point where people have full-on studios and bajillion cameras, and it's hard to compete with that. Even though I don't intend to compete, I intend just to make content that I enjoy making. But when there's people making some truly outstanding content, you can't help but look at your own meager attempts, your own feeble efforts, and being like, oh damn, my shit is sucky. And that ain't great. Oh, and of course, another thing, the lack of players outside of myself and my 11-year-old son makes it very hard to actually play any of these games in a battle report setting, because whom do I play against? Well, be myself or my 11-year-old son, more than likely, and that ain't great. I would also like just to make some content that's just me talking, like this, me talking to you in a mostly unscripted setting. This is technically scripted in the sense that I have a checklist just down here that helps me look at things, and I think I've just knocked something crazy in the background there, going all mad with the vignette. There's stuff down there that it's a checklist that I'm sort of checking every now and then, make sure I'm hitting the points I want to hit. This is basically like scripted, coherent chaos. I would love to get more stuff like this out though. Me talking directly to you and with ideas, maybe about sportsmanship, maybe about cheating, maybe just about how to deal with burnout. Hello, this video has been about burnout. This could help. But expanding this, how can you deal with burnout in your hobby? Why burnout even occurs and how you can fix that. There's lots of things I could talk about, and I love to talk. Basically, I just don't want to pigeonhole myself into just doing tactics videos when that isn't content I can reliably make for Warcry without delving heavily into theory hammer over direct experience. I still want to do that kind of content, don't get me wrong, and I definitely will be. I think the next one I want to do is actually Cruel Boys from the Compendium, because man, cruel boys are really funky, and people sleep on these guys like crazy. I ran some cruel boys in my last game of Warcry, which was months ago, but it was very fun and it was very successful. So I would very much like to make something on them. But anyway, I think it's that's been me waffling on a smidge too much. So let's end the waffle for the time being. This has very much been off the top of my head, and let's just move on. The script says Right at Toast says hi, so Right at Toast says hi. If you made it this far, you are quite the legend. Please remember to support your local bakery, and whilst you're there, give Toast a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Let me know down below what you want to see, how you deal with burnout, if you have any solutions, anything to help me make the best content I can for you would be amazing. But until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ra.